Sandy Point Village has the right atmosphere for you to have a memorable experience with us right here in Tobago. It's located in Crown Point and is close to the A&R Robinson International Airport. We're going to explore the grounds, but first, here's a look at what's to come in this half hour. I'm Davia Chambers and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. We have highlights on the Marriage Act public consultation, Roxborough's Bell Manor riot, and later, details on the senior citizens graduation. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues.
Times. Summer garden, 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 yeah, summer garden.
Sandy Point Village is a family-owned and operated hotel for over 30 years. It's favored for its pleasant, clean and peaceful vibe. Now, our lead story is one that seeks the need for change to the Marriage Act. The issue of child marriage has recently dominated national headlines and is one that affects us all. Marlon Gottslieben takes us to the consultation in Tobago for some further discussion.
The Marriage Act, Chapter 4504, sets out a process of consent for marriages of minors which govern Christian and civil marriages. Under the Hindu Marriage Act, girls can be married at age 14 and boys from 18. In the Muslim Marriage and Divorce Act, girls as young as 12 can be married and boys at 16, while the Owisha faith can marry girls from 16 and boys from 18. Those who attended the Marriage Act consultation in Tobago had a different view from what's currently in our laws.
I will feel that they would consider marriage not even 21. I would say about 24 higher. They would have enough time, I feel, to be prepared for a marriage life, which is maturity. They're not mature yet.
I think we should make the age higher for marriage, because if a child gets married, she'll give up on all her dreams, he or she. And if they're married, they'll have a lot of responsibility, and not everybody is able to deal with that kind of responsibility. So I think you should put it 20.
One participant pointed out that the laws relating to children should be in harmony with each other.
If the state considers somebody who is 18 years to be an adult, then they must be given the privilege to make decisions that are commensurate with age. In that, if you are considered to be an adult, your parents cannot dictate for you what you do thereafter, once you have assumed that age. And therefore, to raise that limit to something like 21, it means that you got to change the definition of who an adult is.
According to Attorney General Faris Alwari, the amendments to the marriage laws as they relate to children has to take into consideration other matters.
So the issue of the removal of consent to marriage is a live issue. We also have, if we're looking at the law, the age. What is the age where you're deemed to be grown up? The information coming from the psychologists says that a child is not fully grown out of childhood until in or around 21, where the brain is still up to that point developing.
The majority of persons are of the opinion that the age of marriage should be raised. The recommendations will be collated and added to the draft legislation, which will then be debated in Parliament. I'm Marlon Gottslieben for Let's Talk Tobago.
This hotel came about because of the persistence and the passion one man had for property rentals. This man is the father of the owner, Troy Small. And speaking of persistence, the winner of the logo competition for the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, CEDP, has been announced. The design was selected from many submissions from quite a few countries. Let's catch some details in this next story.
This is now the official logo for Tobago. It was submitted by graphic designer Everard J. McBain Jr., winner of the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan CDP 2.0 Secretariat's logo competition. Besides the inspiration he got from the trips he takes to the island with his wife to celebrate their wedding anniversary, he had to do a lot of research on the elements that truly represent the island.
The conch shell was there to represent the sea life, the island pool, Boca Reef, everything dealing with the beach aspect of Tobago, the beauty. And the leaves are there to represent the fauna. So the greenery, the trees, the animals, the birds, and so forth and so on. And I combined the two. And I gave it colors that would reflect those colors that will give that feel, the blues and the greens and so forth and so on. So when someone looks at the logo, you know, they will get the feel. It wouldn't just be a matter of it saying something or it looking pretty, but they will get that feeling that Tobago gives you when you come to Tobago.
This design was chosen out of 115 submissions, which came from countries such as Finland and Canada. Mr. McBain, who's from Trinidad, was able to come up with a design that many see as elegant, symbolic, and versatile.
I found the winning logo to be very creative, and it allows for a wide range of events and activities to be done utilizing the logo. In fact, when I looked at the leaf structure, basically on every leaf you can have a different kind of activity and so on.
The CDP 2.0 is a policy document that seeks to develop all sectors of the island in a sustainable manner. The CDP's Secretariat's logo competition fulfilled one of the guidelines set out in the CDP 2.0 document.
They have articulated that Tobago needs to have an individual brand that can speak to the divisions, that can speak to the island, that can speak internationally. So that when people go out now, whether tourism, whether industrial development, whatever division of the assembly, when you go out on the international landscape, you're able to speak about a Tobago brand, which really represents clean, green, safe, and serene.
The logo is one step in achieving the sustainable branding and the marketing of the island. It will be used at various events and on different materials, as selected by the THA. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The first building at this hotel was constructed 30 years ago. However, the other blocks of the property were added in stages until completion. Now we get down to some serious policing business as officers are reaching out to build a relationship with the residents of Calder Hall. This as they seek to address the issues of the community. Here's Karen DeFreitas with the highlights.
Calder Hall residents are concerned about loitering and deviant behavior, especially among youth in the area. They shared their concerns with officers at the recent police town meeting in the community. One resident suggested the introduction of truancy officers to deal with loitering before and after school. Another called for the establishment of a police youth club.
I know that we have Mr. Hazel here, who has an excellent program with the youth club in Roxborough that is well known throughout the country, I think. Right? And we would like to have something like that replicated here.
Children that are interested, certainly you can visit my office or contact me and we can try to see how best we can establish a police youth club in the Calder Hall area. And of course that will do a lot for the Scarborough area because our youth club in Scarborough community has been dormant for quite a while. So we would really be willing to work with you in this initiative.
Residents also want greater road safety, especially at the intersection adjacent to the Calder Hall recreation ground.
Vehicles exiting Frenchfield Road, accessing Calder Hall Road, are unable to see oncoming traffic from the right. And I would like to suggest that a mirror be erected as soon as possible.
I know they have identified 25 areas in Tobago in which they are going to install mirrors. And I can tell you the mirrors were bought. They bought 30 in fact, so that if that wasn't one and they realize they do assessment and that can be included, there will be a mirror to put there. So I will bring it up with the committee.
The residents also raised the issue of illegal dumping, for which offenders can be fined. but it's a matter that also needs a proactive response from community members.
Can we not contact the police and say, okay, I've seen motor vehicle XY just dump a bag of so-and-so on the things, and so that we'll be able to take some action. But we need your input also, so we work together hand in hand.
Calder Hall residents are also being encouraged to collaborate with the police to ensure the community becomes a cleaner, safer place. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
Up next, details on Roxborough's Bell Manor riot. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago will be right back. Now, what makes Sandy Point Village unique is the natural look and feel of wood and stone-type structure with the ocean as a backdrop. The facility prides itself on its home-away-from-home feeling. It reflects an old-world style of architecture. They also have some beautiful macaws and pigeons. Now that I have your attention, think about this. The Roxborough community took us back in time with the Bell Manor riot to relive the hardship of our African ancestors through drama, song, and dance. I'll leave it to Kimberly Job to show you exactly what I mean.
Reenacting the Bell Manor riots of 1876, this group of demonstrators marched through the streets of Roxborough, singing and chanting on the way to the Sid Grey complex. The Bell Manor riots signified the outbreak of a riot on the Roxborough estate, which occurred in the post-emancipation era during the period of indentureship. At that time, Barbadian workers were brought to Tobago to supplement the labor shortage on the estate. The riots began because of unfair treatment of the workers by the overseers of the estate.
They implemented a truck system in 1876, which saw the workers on the estate deprived of adequate accommodation and wages, and it saw the unfair deduction from their wages for health services that they did not receive, inappropriate accommodation and that sort of thing. So the workers rebelled, and anytime there was rebellion by workers, they were more or less abused by Corporal Bell Manor on behalf of the overseers of the estate.
The recreation of the event gave the audience a feel of the workers' struggle and the oppressive conditions imposed on them by those in authority.
Officers, arrest him! Arrest him! And that's to all of you. If you really get me vexed, we'll take all of you down.
The singing depicting the hardships the plantation workers suffered when being unfairly treated.
Freedom come, freedom come, down come for freedom, freedom come. Massa look your hole, look your farm, look your rig. This is your pop, look your spoon, you can pay. Freedom come, freedom come.
The dancing used as an outlet to express themselves. From the Division of Community Development and Culture, I'm Kimberly Job for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now for me, the best part of vacationing at a place like this is to take a dip in the pool. And for those of you who agree, Sandy Point Village has 2 swimming pools and 2 hot tubs large enough for the entire family. Meanwhile, there's another family activity which the public was invited to. The Scarborough Library facility hosted a Tobago Folk Museum and Art exhibition as part of the Tobago Heritage Festival. Here are the details in this report.
This lady is working for her dessert. It's a live demonstration of the way our foreparents made homemade ice cream before there were high-tech machines or shops selling ice cream at almost every corner. That's just one of the many aspects of the Tobago Folk Museum that offered the public a chance to participate and gave them insight into how products such as farine and peppermints were made.
I just think this is just an awesome experience. I especially like the idea of the ice cream. I know I'm going to try it when I get home with my girls, and I like the peppermint making. It's just awesome.
The Folk Museum included a space where patrons viewed and learnt about various artifacts used by Tobagonians of yesteryear. And it's another aspect of the heritage experience that many are appreciating.
You have a preservation of the culture, the way of life, the practices of the long ago Tobagonian. And again, it is good to know where we were to where we are now.
I really think that it's a fantastic idea. It's an example of really creating an understanding of our heritage and our historical past. And I think that this needs to be something that is outside the heritage season.
The coordinators of the event see it as an interactive history lesson for the youth.
It is really important to have us look back, that the children could know these things, because a lot of the children today don't even know what is an iron comb and stuff like that, right? So when you have an exhibit like this, they could really get to educate themselves.
The Tobago Folk Museum was hosted at the Scarborough Library facility. It lasted until the end of the official 2 weeks of the Tobago Heritage Festival. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
This property has 25 air-conditioned studio apartments and 20 air-conditioned suites, all with fully equipped kitchenettes. Now, bands from all parts of Tobago entertain the crowds with the sound of pan music for the Tobago Heritage Festival. Kimberly Job takes us to Pan Folkorama to show us what we missed out on.
It was a celebration in steel as participating steel bands beat tune after tune after tune from their repertoire. The night was nostalgic as bands from across the island kept the fans entertained with a variety of calypso and folk selections. The Pan Folkorama, which was previously an item on the Heritage Festival calendar, returned this year after a brief hiatus.
I have been here over a period of time for the past 5 years, and when I saw Pan advertised for this festival, I felt great pleased that you're bringing up our local culture, which hasn't been exposed to these people before.
I'm not really a pan lover, but I'm really enjoying this tonight. What I've seen so far, it's really good.
The participating bands included Hope Pan Groovers, Redemption Soundsetters, and Our Boys. The show ended with a guest performance by Caribbean Airlines Steel Invaders. And from Pan in the night to Juve in the morning, hundreds came out onto the streets of Plymouth to take part in the Tobago All-Time Carnival Juve. Paint, mud and powder were the order of the day. A number of bands went before the judges displaying their various old mask portrayals, while others reveled in the streets.
Tobago, it's a bit like Ireland, it needs freed. So we, the Tobago 17, the South Tobago Brigade, have come here to free Tobago. And that's what we're doing today.
It's really nice. It's really, really nice. A lot of people came out this year, so we're really enjoying ourselves.
Well, I think the Juve is going great. So far, the crowd has really reached its maximum. It is great. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm having a time.
And Caston Cupid was dethroned in Saturday evening's Tobago Heritage Calypso Monarch after his 3-year reign. The winning calypso was sung by Giselle Gigi Washington. Singing The Argument, Gigi beat out 9 other contestants to take home the $35,000 first prize. It was the first time she would put her hands on the coveted prize.
It was a piece that from the time I heard it, I fell in love with it because it was totally different from the everyday song that we would hear at Heritage Time, right? So I loved the song and it became part of me.
From the Division of Community Development and Culture, I'm Kimberly Job for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up, Senior Citizens Computer Literacy Graduation Ceremony right after the break.
They say it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters the most. And in the face of disaster, chaos, and panic, it is the Tobago Emergency Management Agency's comprehensive emergency response plans that will matter most to Tobago. This agency's modernized approach to emergency management is driven by technology, powered by networking, focused on community resilience, open to partnering, enhanced through training, and led by a highly competent and dedicated staff. This has positioned them as one of the premier disaster management agencies in the region and earned them Trinidad and Tobago Diamond Standard certification. Congrats, TEMA, Tobago Emergency Management Agency.
Happy times. Summer car done, summer car, 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 summer car done, yeah, summer car.
Welcome back. The Steak and the Lobster Grill is an open-air restaurant which overlooks the Store Pigeon Point coastlines with a view that awakens your senses to the blue waters of Tobago. Their menu, however, is one that appeals to all tastes. Now, it's the 4th cycle of the Senior Citizens Computer Literacy Program, and this batch of graduates is ready to take on the computing world as they completed the requirements and now possess the skills. Here's this report.
Zalma Sandy is a retired nurse who decided to occupy her time by joining the 4th cycle of the Senior Citizens Computer Literacy Program. She, along with over 60 of her classmates, are now proficient in their knowledge and use of computer software such as Microsoft Word, Skype, Facebook, and YouTube.
We know how to cut, copy, and paste. We know how to add pictures and shapes. Then we know how to connect to the internet. The World Wide Web. We know how to search for things on the internet. Then all us doing email.
The 6-week program is an initiative of the TH's Scarborough Library facility. It's aimed at giving seniors the chance to stay in touch with the technological advancements in society, an initiative that they are grateful to have experienced.
Such a program is consistent with the educational concept of lifelong learning, as we are never too old to learn. In fact, it's imperative that we keep abreast of the technological times, irrespective of age. For we are all part of the global village our world has become.
Head Librarian Helen Johnson urged the graduates to continue practicing what they have learned outside of the class.
If you have challenges, come back to the library, ask for your tutors, and get the assistance you need. Surprise your children and grandchildren. Send them a WhatsApp with an inspirational saying. Post a comment on their Facebook for their birthday or any significant achievement.
The Senior Citizens Computer Literacy Program is part of the library's thrust to create an all-inclusive learning environment for its users. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
What does Sandy Point Village offer to keep me entertained? Well, allow me to answer that. Management offers you to join in on the fun at the Rum Punch Party with special local artist Michael Baker every Friday night. And as we're on the topic of fun, children of the sports summer camp were active over the vacation period as they participated in football, lawn tennis and the track and field, just to name a few. Here's a look at what they did.
These children just may be Tobago's sports stars of tomorrow. But this is where they've started, learning the fundamentals of their favorite sports at the annual Sports Summer Camp. 15-year-old Christian Roberts says it's a great way to spend his vacation time.
Well, I think it's a very good time consumer because it's not just like sitting down in front of the TV whole summer vacation. You're getting out and you're getting to engage in sports and meet new people and even get yourself in shape.
The camp catered to children between the ages of 7 and 15. They took part in popular sports, including football, cricket, basketball, netball, lawn tennis, track and field, and swimming. They also learned to adopt proper technique.
I hope that they have fun, most important, and also learn the fundamental of the game. Whereas at basketball, football, tennis, cricket, Shawpark and Cricket has such a great cricket coach here. We should get some shots of him, and he's really teaching the guys the fundamentals of the game. And if we teach them the fundamentals of the game at this age, when they get older, there's not much to do.
Another objective of the camp, which was facilitated by the THA's Department of Sport, is to ensure the children develop holistically and become better equipped to deal with situations off the field.
It's also helped them with peer pressure. It also helps you with low self-esteem. Sports changes life, and when kids get into sports, they are more structured, they are more focused, and they can more now adapt to life outside of sport. They can handle whatever is ahead.
This year, over 1,500 children participated in the 2-week camp across 8 venues. I'm Kearney Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
So who do you think can bring Olympic gold to Trinidad and Tobago and why? It's Have Your Say time, and here's what you had to say.
Well, I think Jay Gordon will bring back gold for Trinidad and Tobago because he has been consistent over his events and he's a hard-working athlete.
I would say Keyshawn Walcott because he's pushing himself very hard.
I think Keyshawn Walcott will bring back gold for TNT.
I think Helen Batiste will bring home gold because she wants to make the country proud.
I really think Keyshawn Walcott is the only prospect we have.
I think George Bovell will bring back gold for Trinidad and Tobago because he's a great swimmer.
I think Rennie Cole could bring home gold because he's a proud Tobagonian.
I think Richard Thompson will be successful because he's a very consistent and hard-working athlete.
I believe all of them will bring back gold because I think they went out there with the intention to do their very best. So I believe in them and we are cheering them on.
We close another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the Emancipation Day celebrations 2016.